So what is one of the biggest mistakes that you see most, not even just new speakers, but speakers make in general when it comes to getting booked on stages?
If you want to grow a business, you need a consistent, predictable, reliable way to get leads every day, every week, every month. If you don't have that, then you're not going to get booked as frequently as you would like. The first big problem that you have to solve in your business is building a consistent, predictable marketing system. You can't predict your revenue, you can't predict your growth, and it's very stressful.
Hello and welcome to Speakhyve. I'm your host, Leah Woodford, and with me today is a special guest. I love that Joey Dentici is in the house, and he is the CEO of Speakhyve. Joey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Joey, you've been in the speaking industry for a long time. Can you tell our viewing audience what you do?
Yeah, so I run a company called Speakhyve, and essentially what we do in the short explanation of it is we help speakers get booked. So we're very heavy on focusing on marketing, lead generation, sales, and closing deals. So we're not really on the media side or anything like that. We're more, let's get leads, let's get booked, and let's build systems to do that. So that's kind of the lane that we are in.
Okay.
Yep.
And how long have you guys been doing that?
I've been in marketing for 6-7 years now, but specifically helping speakers probably about 3 years. Once I met my business partner, Jared, he's been a speaker for about 15 years. And I kind of combined my marketing systems with his speaking ability, and we found some really cool stuff that worked. And that's how the speaking industry side of things started with our marketing company.
So what is one of the biggest mistakes that you see most, not even just new speakers, but speakers make in general when it comes to getting booked on stages?
Yeah, I think I would say it's for speakers and also business owners,
right?
Because it's a universal problem, which is lead generation. It's like, if you want to grow a business, you need a consistent, predictable, reliable way to get leads every day, every week, every month. If you don't have that, then you're not going to get booked as frequently as you would like. So I would say it usually starts, the first big problem that you have to solve in your business is building a consistent, predictable marketing system. Because if you have a little bit of leads, then you're going to have a little bit of sales and a little bit of revenue. But if you have a lot of leads, it goes down the pipeline. So I find that most people don't actually put their head down and fully solve that problem and build that system. And they're always kind of like up and down, right? So it's like they have leads and they don't have leads, and then they have leads and they don't have leads, or they're relying on referrals or other lead generation sources that are not predictable, that are more sporadic. And that's what kind of leads to, you can't predict your revenue, you can't predict your growth, and it's very stressful as a business owner too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we all have to have consistent revenue coming in.
Yep.
What do you think is one of the biggest issues with their marketing in general?
Yeah. So the approach that we take with speaking is, obviously, as a speaker, you need all of your foundational assets. Like if you're going to talk to an event planner, they need to see that you have spoken before, that you do what you say you do, and like that you have the foundational brand pieces. But from there, what we focus on is outbound marketing. And so I love outbound marketing, specifically meaning we're going out and reaching out to the decision makers. We're making the first move. We're in control.
And how are you doing that, Joey?
We'll do it typically, the two main channels that we typically do it is via email or LinkedIn. Those are the two primary platforms that we do outreach.
And why is that?
Your most speakers' ideal clients are there. So you can easily connect with those people. You can easily find those people. You can easily talk to those people and connect with them. So that is why, in general with marketing, you typically want to go with where the people are that, are going to book you or your client.
Well, and I love what Russell Brunson says. He says that there's a couple of different markets you have. Those that you earn, which is your email, those that you buy, which is paid ads, and then the other one is those that you borrow, social media. What's your thoughts on social media marketing?
I think as a speaker, that you need to have a social footprint now in today's world. I think there's a lot more competition in general. Everybody's getting into everybody's becoming a speaker, a coach. People are becoming.
It's a crowded space.
Correct. And so I think it's almost a prerequisite, especially as a speaker where you're almost in the public figure realm, that you need to, that's your digital business card, right? So like if you don't have that properly polished, if an event planner or whoever the decision maker is that brings you in goes to your social media, they should be like, oh, like it should reinforce the idea to hire you. not turn them away, which we've actually seen happen many times from speakers that probably in comments they shouldn't be in, and they're just, they're not keeping it professional. So I think it's very important. I think it's almost a non-negotiable.
Well, they're going to look, especially event planners, and correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't most event planners younger now?
They're getting younger.
They're going to be checking out your social media, and they're going to check out your LinkedIn profile long before they check out your speaker demo reel, if you have one.
Yep.
How many speakers do you see do not have a good demo reel or one at all?
Plenty. There are plenty of them that don't have. Some do, some don't. I mean, the clients we work with, I'd say probably about 75% of them have some form of it. Might be old or outdated, but yeah, I mean, any video assets that display and demonstrate what you do, the problem you're solving, the solution that you bring, the outcomes you're providing is going to be valuable to have, as a business owner and a speaker.
Now, you work with event planners too, I would assume.
Not as much. We're reaching out to event planners, but we're not working typically.
No, that's what I mean. You're reaching out to them. What are they looking for right now?
So I would say they are looking for several assets. Like when we do email outreach, the first thing typically people request is just several assets that you can provide them that are going to demonstrate and explain exactly what you do, who you are, the audiences you serve, your skills, your expertise. So whether that be a demo reel and some sort of PDF, brandable PDF asset that explains your services and what you do, it's just the more information you can give them in a packaged bundle so they can easily assess what you do and make a decision. That's typically what they're looking for.
Well, you just said a mouthful right now. How many speakers, and I know this for myself sometimes at one point, you go to their website and you can't figure out what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep. It's a problem.
Now, what's your thoughts between websites and funnels when it comes to speakers? Should they just have a funnel type, I'm a speaker, here's what I do, and the topics, or should they be on a website? What's your thoughts?
I don't know so my kind of philosophy, I'm not too caught up in that. I'm more so like, you don't have anybody looking at your funnel. So we need to get people to look at the funnel or the website, whatever it is. There's no traffic coming to it. I think a lot of people can spend a lot of time on their website, on their brand, but it's like nobody's looking at your brand right now. We need to get people to see your brand. We need to get people to come to the website or funnel. But I've seen both work. I've seen a more simplified funnel, which is usually just more targeted and direct into one specific thing that you're promoting and talking about, versus a website where it's more of a menu. You have all
there's a lot of off ramps.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
So what are some of the main topics event planners are looking for right now?
So I don't know if I have great insight on that. I would say mainly because I'd say about 75-80% of our speakers are in the education space. So they're speaking in colleges, they're speaking in K through 12, middle schools, high schools, elementary schools, colleges, professional associations.
Okay.
So a lot of our clients are in that sphere, which is an awesome industry. And so in terms of the other piece of it, I think leadership, in some form of fashion.
Leadership's always popular.
Always popular.
Sales,
leadership, sales. Even
what about AI?
AI is a big one. AI ethics. I know a lot of people that are getting booked with AI-driven topics on either teaching people how to use it or teaching people how to do it properly, ethical, for bigger companies and stuff like that. So,
you just said something, AI ethics. Can you explain to her what our viewing audience is? I haven't heard that. I believe that we should have AI ethics, but I'm not sure they're here yet.
Yes. In terms of what is AI ethics?
Yes.
So AI ethics, it's pretty much just how do you use an AI in a way that is not, detrimental to your company, to the world, to whatever industry that you're in. It's pretty much kind of like guardrails and talking about guardrails of AI, how to use it effectively and how to not kind of, tread on certain boundaries with it.
Right. Well, and they scrape a lot of that information. So I would think that intellectual properties and sometimes some of the stuff ChatGPT says isn't true. So you want to verify every time you use any of these platforms.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how can people find out more about you and work with you? What's your process? What's your onboarding process?
Yeah. So typically, when we work with people, I mean, we have our website, speakhyve.io. That's where people can go to check out what we do. Typically, it all starts with a application people fill out so we can understand your business. And then we get on a call and we really see what all you're doing, what industries you're working in, what you're looking to do. And then from there, if it's a good fit, we typically make people an offer and we start the process. And what that process looks like I said, we're very focused on outbound marketing because it's predictable. Because you post content, you don't know how many leads are coming in. If I'm sending 1,000 emails a day, I know that I'm sending 1,000 emails a day, and I know that out of those 1,000, there's going to be X amount of people that respond, X amount of people that book a call, X amount of people that I actually work with. So there's a predictability to being proactive in your marketing, and so that's why we focus on that to give people control of their business. And so we build that whole system out for people.
Now, what if they don't have a big email list?
You don't need to have an email list. So what we're doing is typically cold outreach, meaning we provide all the leads. So we're going to look at a speaker and say, hey, where are you speaking? So give you an example, my business partner speaks in education. He has for 15 years. He's done over 1,000 gigs in education.
You have a lot of contacts in that realm then.
Correct. And we have databases and softwares that we can build custom lists for speakers. So for my business partner, as an example, his decision maker in his industry is a principal in schools, right?
Right.
So we build a list of principals in the exact states that maybe he wants to speak in. We'll get a list of 1,000, 2,000 of them. We'll load them into a campaign. We'll write emails that get them to actually respond. And then we send out the emails. It's a lot more complex than that in terms of the tech that we have to set up and things to be able to send emails and actually not go to spam, because that's a big issue with email.
Well, that is a big issue. And how do you not get blacklisted?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is a simple tip that I can give everybody, that every time I tell somebody this, they're like, oh, really? Wow.
Can you direct that to our audience? I know they want to hear this.
Yes. So some speakers that I know, they do cold outreach. And so what I would recommend doing is never use your business email account, for cold outreach. So if your business email is joe@johndoe.com, you never want to use that to do cold outreach, because what happens is if you do it long enough and you're doing it enough times, that all of your emails are going to start going to spam when you do that consistently. So when you do cold outreach, you always want to set up new email accounts that are only used for cold outreach, so that you protect your main brand reputation, your main email accounts. I've had people that, they come to me, they're like, and I tell them that, they're like, oh, I thought my emails were going to spam. And now they're trying to send invoices to clients on the same email account that they're doing cold outreach to. And now all their stuff's going to spam. So
my question is, do they use what kind of email? Is it just a different business name?
Yes, good question. So it's a whole system that we do. So for example, we'll set up a speaker 20 new email accounts, for them. And let's just say your email is leah@leah.com. We would get leahspeaks.com and we would get leahco.com. We get all very, very similar domains.
Similar but different. That makes sense.
And then all of those new ones that we get redirect to your main website. So if anybody would ever go type in that new domain or email, it would just redirect to your main website. But what that does is it keeps all of your cold outreach separate from your regular email accounts. And so if anything happens with one of the new cold emails, you just throw it out and you get a new one. There's no big deal because your website's not attached to it and you're not trying to email clients from those emails. Right.
So it's a completely separate entity.
Correct.
I don't know about you guys, but I would love to actually have somebody do the separate reaching out. There's nothing worse than sending a cold email to somebody else.
Yeah.
So walk us through the process. I'm coming in, I watch this show and I pick up the phone. Joey, I want to set it up. Now what happens?
So when we work with clients, typically what we'll do is the first thing that we do is a full deep dive and intake on the speaker. So we're getting we're extracting all of the information from the speaker so that we can properly run marketing campaigns and do everything. So it's a transfer of knowledge about who you are, what you speak about, your topics, industries, it's very detailed. From there, our team actually builds out the marketing system, which takes about 14 days.
That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yes, it is. And that's where we're setting up all those new email accounts, doing all the techie stuff that nobody wants to deal with.
I don't want to do it.
Yep. We're creating lead lists for the speaker. We're writing the email campaigns and sequences so they don't have to do that. And then
so this is done for you almost.
It's completely done for you. The only thing a speaker does now with our services is you respond to leads. So we're running the campaigns, we're sourcing the leads, we're dealing with all that stuff. You just answer and respond to leads that come in. And then we're also working on something now, but every speaker that we work with is going to be getting a personalized booking specialist that, in conjunction with this automated cold outreach system, we have a person that is manually pitching the person in a more low volume, very personalized approach. So we combine kind of automated and scalable system with very personalized outreach to events, conferences, stuff like that. And so, yeah, we do those things. And our goal is to just become a marketing partner, essentially, and generate you leads, generate you gigs, help you with everything in that process. But we build out the systems, and that takes about 14 days. From there, it's just simply teaching the person how to respond to leads effectively, pretty much.
I love that. Or maybe a busy person might want their personal assistant helping, their VA helping. We work with a lot of our speakers. They either have their spouse. They work with their spouse. A lot of speakers that we find, really?
Husband, wife.
My husband would never do that. I'm just going to say.
And then we have a lot of speakers that they come into our agency and our service with a VA, and we're actually training their VA to manage the inbox and do that stuff because the speaker is not. So, or the person does it, or the speaker does it.
Wow, I love that. Now, is there a minimum for how many speaking engagements or a maximum?
In terms of the system?
Yeah, like say I only want to do 5 speaking engagements a month.
Yep. So there's not really a minimum and a maximum. Really, the goal that we're looking for on average, because this is what most speakers want, is between 2 to 4 gigs a month. So our goal is once we build the system, we're looking to launch it and scale them up to booking consistently 2 to 4 gigs every month. Some people, they want a little bit more. Some people, it's like, hey, I want 1 or 2 a month. So it depends on the speaker, but usually that range is what we're looking to do. Paid gigs, of course.
I love this. Well, Joey, we're running out of time. Where can our viewing audience get a hold of you?
Yes. So you can go to speakhyve.io and that's our website. And on the site, you can look about what we do, see everything, and book a call with our team if you want to learn.
So if you're a speaker, coach, and entrepreneur, and you haven't hit the like or subscribe button, we hope that you will, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Speaker Life.